Long before humans inhabited the Earth, a parallel nation already existed. They possessed a capability beyond human biology, the power to fly into the heavens and listen to the conversations of angels. This civilization, the Jinn, was created from a state of smokeless fire. Conceptually, this is best compared to plasma, a distinct state of matter that allows them to exist in a dimension overlapping our own while remaining hidden from our senses. In this era, rebellious Jinn would position themselves in the lower heavens to overhear fragments of divine decrees. They carried these snippets of future events back to Earth, delivered them to soothsayers, and mixed them with falsehoods. This system allowed their leader, Iblis, to coordinate a widespread network of corruption, using stolen secrets to manipulate human belief for thousands of years. This ancient order was abruptly dismantled 15 centuries ago. When the Jinn attempted their usual ascent, they found the familiar pathways to the lower heavens were no longer open. Angels now stood guard where none had been stationed before. Those who tried to breach the guard were immediately hunted and struck down. The Quran describes these as shibab, burning masses of fire that pursued anyone attempting to eavesdrop. The Jinn were thrown into confusion. This level of defense was decisive and total, suggesting a coordinated shift in the security of the heavens. They reached a single conclusion. A defense system of this scale meant something significant had changed on the earth. Either God was preparing a punishment for the world, or a new messenger had been raised. Iblis ordered his followers to fan out across the globe. They were tasked with investigating every corner of the east and west to find the earthly trigger for this celestial blockade. Legions of Jinn began scanning the earth, searching for any anomaly that would explain why they were suddenly locked out of the heavens. While traveling through a valley, a specific group was halted by the sound of a voice. They paused to listen, hearing a recitation that was unlike anything they had encountered before. They found Prophet Muhammad leading his companions in the dawn prayer near the city of Mecca. As they listened to the verses, they recognized the message as the source of the heavens' defense. These words were the divine decree they had been prevented from hearing. The blockade was not a sign of impending destruction, but a protective measure. The heavens had been weaponized to ensure this final message reached the prophet without any interference or corruption from the unseen realms. This discovery proved that the message was intended for the Jinn as well. Like humans, they possess free will and are morally accountable for whether they accept or reject the truth. This distinguishes their moral factions. The term shayateen describes a state of rebellion and arrogance, rather than a biological species. Within their society, there are those who are righteous and those who remain deviant. Their physical presence was highly tangible to the prophet. In one instance, while meeting with a large group of them, he drew a boundary line in the dirt to protect his human companion, warning that crossing it would result in being snatched away by the immense gathering. They also possessed biological requirements. The prophet assigned them sustenance in the form of discarded animal bones and dung, which would return to their hands as fresh food within their dimension. These interactions show that the Jinn are a sentient, parallel society with their own needs and responsibilities, existing alongside us in a shared reality. After hearing the Quran, the investigating Jinn returned to their tribes to preach. They abandoned the empire of Iblis and began inviting their own people to the new faith. Early historical reports mention humans being visited by these believing Jinn, who urged them to travel to Mecca and witness the prophet's message for themselves. This corrected a long-standing human error. Before Islam, travelers who spent the night in an uninhabited valley would call out to the Jinn, seeking protection from the Lord of the Valley out of fear. The believing Jinn noted that this behavior only increased their own arrogance. When humans sought protection from them, it emboldened the Jinn to become more wicked and fearless in their rebellion. The revelation dissolved this dynamic. It placed both species on equal footing before a single authority, ending the old hierarchy where humans and Jinn manipulated each other through fear and hidden secrets. This leaves us with the reality that we are not the only intelligent species currently navigating the Earth. Surah O-Jinn demonstrates that the prophet's message was a broadcast that reached across dimensions, holding both the seen and unseen realms to the same standard of conduct. Despite their different origins, one from earthly clay and the other from fire, both civilizations are engaged in the same test, determining their fate through their response to divine guidance.